Today out in the wood yard, we've got a delivery, and then we're gonna move some wood out into cribs. Here we go. So on yesterday's video, my brother Eric was here and we split a whole bunch of wood. We resplit, I should say. We resplit that pile. We resplit what's in the trailer here and what's in this trailer. And this morning I've got a delivery I gotta go do. And then when I come back from that, we're gonna take the trailers out into the field. I'm gonna take a bunch of pallets out there. We're gonna build some cribs and we're going to throw wood into cribs to get it out where it's gonna dry, get it out of here. Yesterday it was, I don't know, 40 degrees and raining. And then last night, after the front went through, it cooled down. Right now it is 12 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds. They just said the wind chill's like 10 below. And it's almost April, a couple days. Cold, very cold. Right now it should be about 50, 60 degrees. And even the cats don't want to come out. This one's out here because he's hungry, but the other ones didn't even come out this morning. So I'm going to show you a little something. I stopped last night on my way home at the gas station because my truck was out of gas and all of my containers were empty. So I got 3 diesel containers and then I got 2 5-gallon jugs that I use for the splitter and then chainsaw gas. I filled up all these jugs and my truck, and it was $182, I think is what I paid. Even though gas has come down in price, it's still expensive just to get fuel. So when we ran the processor the other day, you saw that a couple days ago, I figured we used about 10 gallons or so. From what I could tell, it's hard to tell because there's not a gauge on the processor tank. It's just a tube that, it's a gravity one that just you can see as it goes down, so it's just a guess, but about 10 gallons probably what we used. And then we used a bunch of gas for the splitter. All this yet still needs to be resplit. So that little pile you see over there is kind of what we started with, and then this one needs to be done yet too. So we're gonna get this stuff unloaded and we're gonna go load up the truck with a face cord of mixed hardwood and go deliver that first. Well, I just backed up the truck to this pile of wood here. This is the wood that was split, I don't know, 2-3 months ago now, from the wood that I bought over a year ago that was in log form that we moved here from my old wood yard. And it's mostly ash, and I did a moisture test on it the other day and it's all in the teens. It's up 17, 18%. There's a few pieces of elm in here though that I found that is not good. They're about 22, 23%. So if I see a piece of elm, I'm just gonna put it back in the stack or throw it off to the side. Now the reason I'm going to this pile is because it's what I have to do. All the wood that we moved here from our other wood yard was over in the piles that you can see sticking up a little bit. If you look way over there, you can see a few pieces sticking up. That was the mixed hardwood. Then there was a little bit of birch, that's all gone. A little bit of hardwood there, that stuff's all frozen into the ground. Then there was a little bit of box elder, aspen, and cottonwood, and that we gave away to the guy that's letting us use his trailer. We gave most of that away, and I did sell some of that too if people bought that. Then there was a bunch of cherry there, a real big pile of cherry, and the cherry's all gone. So all the wood, other than that pile of pine you see out there, the pile that's on the right, that is a pile of pine. The other stuff is the new stuff I just put in the bin. That's all the wood from last year is gone. So everything's gone as far as the hardwood. So now all I got left is what's right here, but there's quite a bit here. There's 3 rows that are pretty massive, pretty high, pretty wide. You know, it's 7-8 feet high stacked in the back there, the back rows. So I got plenty of wood to make it through. Hopefully this stuff will last me most of the summer. And then by the end of summer, I think a lot of other stuff is going to be dry because there's a lot of ash that we've been doing. I got probably 60, 70 face cords of ash. That's 20, 30, I don't know, full cord, something like that. A bunch. I got a lot of wood there that I think because of where it is in the sun and wind out here, it's going to dry really well. So we're going to load this up and then go deliver it. I cannot believe how cold it is out here today. This is like January weather. Unreal. Unreal, I tell you. So just going to throw a bunch of this in and go deliver it. I could do 3 deliveries today, but I only want to do this one. The other 2 that said that I could do it next week on Monday, which is probably what I'll end up doing when the weather's a little nicer. And then today I can work on getting my bins out here. And the reason I want to do that today is the ground is froze, obviously, because it's cold. And if I can get my bins put together out over there where I've got that pine and the mixed hardwood in the bins that I built, the big bin, the monster bin. If I can get that done, then I can get all the trailers, all 3 of the trailers empty, and then we can start doing resplits again right into the trailers, so we can get that stuff cleaned up, so that we can then start working on the other hardwood, which is oak that I've got sitting there that I want to get processed. So, okay, I'm gonna quit talking and start chucking faster now. Well, there it is. The wood is in the truck. My fingers are froze. I had to take my gloves off a few times for the camera, and it doesn't look windy to you, but it's really windy out here, and it's cold. It's cold, and we're gonna go deliver this load right now. So I just brought out these pallets because I'm going to build another bin like this one here, except we're going to make some alterations to this bin, to the new one. Now this one here is the big one I made. There's 60 face cords, or is it 20? Yeah, 20 full cords in here. That's what's in here. So there it is. And that is mostly ash, a little bit of maple, a little bit of elm, and yeah, so that's what's in there pretty much. So it's a big bin. Now, I was advised by people that I should not do this because it's not going to dry in the inside. But I also was advised by other people that have done this, and they said it worked great. As long as it's on pallets, as long as I got it in a cage and it's out in the open, there's no trees around here, it gets wind all the time. Right now there's like 20-mile-an-hour winds. I'm on the back side, so it's not too windy right here. And that pile is, I don't know, 12 feet high, something like that. And we were talking about different ways to make this work so that I don't have to stack as much. I'm still going to do some stacking so that I can just grab and go. If someone wants a full cord, I can just point and say, hey, there's your full cord. But I'm going to do a lot of this, but not as big. But so we've been talking to different people, and some people said, oh, run some drain tile down through the middle of it with holes in it, you know, so that it can breathe. But then Keith, Bert's dad, said, hey, why don't you take 2 pallets and run it down the middle like an A all the way down? So basically there's a tunnel all the way through the middle. Now that's a good idea. So that's what I wish I would have done to this one, because that would have really made a big difference to have that hole go all the way through. We could even did like an X. We could have ran one this way and one this way. So that would have been a really good idea. So on this next one, I'm going to go smaller. We're going to go 2 pallets wide, and I don't know how long. We'll just go as long as probably from here all the way down to where you see the piles of timbers down there. Probably just do a real long one right out here and fill it up, and I won't do anything special today. That's only going to be 2 pallets wide, which is fine. Now, when I was stacking wood all the time, which I still will do some of on my old wood yard, I've gone as wide as 7 rows wide stacked, touching each other. And some people have asked me, you know, if you do a full cord where you got the 3 rows, that are 4 feet high, 8 feet long. Does the inside row dry? Yes, it dries just fine. You get plenty of wind and sun and air going through it. Like I said, I've gone 5 quite a few times. I've done 6 and I've done up to 7. Now I only do that if I'm out in the total open where there's sun and wind all the time. If you're in the shade and if you're in a place where there's no wind, if you're like say in a woods line or in a corner or something like that where the prevailing wind comes from the other side and you're not getting any direct wind going into it, or it's in the, like I say, in the shade all the time, yeah, it's going to take a lot longer to dry. My old best friend Tony has a problem with some of his wood in his wood yard because he's got so much woods and so many mature trees that where he stores his wood is under the canopy. And he's having a hard time keeping some of it dry, getting it to dry fast enough. So he's looking for an alternative to maybe get a piece of property where he can store some ways away from him where it's out in the open like this, because it makes a huge difference, the wind and sun. I would say it's at least twice as fast drying. So that's something to consider. So we're going to build this next one right here. Now, my old way of doing this is I did the corners like you see right here, where I did the brace pieces across. These have brace pieces that run down to the inside to hold these, and I just put them next to each other. You can see the brace pieces on all these, and that worked good. I had a big bucket of nails to get rid of. A lot of people said, oh, why don't you use screws? Well, because I had a big bucket of nails. I had like a 25-pound bucket of nails, so I just nailed them together. Now on this one, I've only got 2 that I could get at, and yes, I used the tractor with the bucket. I did not use the forks because this was all froze in. I had to bust it loose, and I busted one up trying to get it out. Everything's froze in. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use these 2 that have the corners here. But then I went this morning and I got a bunch of wire. I got some electric fence wire, 17 gauge. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wire around the pieces in the corner and then around the bottom a couple spots. And that way I can take them apart easily. Probably 2 wraps and a few twists and it should be good. Better than nails because I'm not going to have them sticking up everywhere. I'll be able to take it off, I'll be able to move it. So I think I'm going to come up with a system that should work pretty good for putting these together with just using wire where I can make the corners and the bottoms connect. And like I said, we're going to go 2 wide and then, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 feet long. We're going to go a long ways. So we'll see what happens. And I think that'll work really good because then I can do several rows of those and just access them from whatever side I can get to. And it should dry really good. So if I do the pallets just like this high, and then if we fill it full, and then I can heap it up. And I know in the past when I did my cookies, I can go about 6-7 feet high, which should be plenty high with doing these rows like this, and the wood will dry just fine because it's not going to be that compacted in there like this big one is here. So some people have me afraid about this one here that it's not going to dry adequately, but I think it will because I'm so far out in the open. And again, it's ash, which a lot of this stuff is it's probably almost ready to burn now because it's ash. And the maple is not as dry, and the elm is not as dry. And we will find out. So what my plan is with this is to just take wood away from it. We're going to start in the middle and kind of work into some holes, and then just as I sell it, it'll dry faster and faster and faster because this stuff will be sold. Looks like one of the friends came out to see us here. What do you got to say, Mr. Cat? Hey there. Okay, time to get to work. So here's the wire I got. This is a 1/4 mile of electric fence wire, and the reason I got it is it's a lot cheaper than any other wire you can get. The anodized wire, which is good wire, it's just that it comes in a smaller spool and it's much shorter. It was like, I don't know, a couple 100 feet or something like that, and it was like $10. This roll is 17 gauge. It's a 1/4 mile long, and it was $20. And this has got to be 10 pounds. So this should work just fine. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but I'm thinking if I have like 3-foot long pieces, I should be able to do a couple wraps around and then a couple twists, and it should be good. So we're going to find out. Oh, look at that. So there's a piece. We're going to start strapping some together now. Well, folks, there it is. It is not exactly a thing of beauty, but it should work. I got 2 pallets wide, and what I did was I took wire and ran it from the top down and in. So as this fills out, they're all tied in together here, so it should hold. So I got wire on every pallet down the middle here, and I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pallets so far this way and 2 wide. So I'll easily get a trailer load full in here. So I'm gonna go get the galvanized trailer mine, and I'm gonna back it in here, and I'm gonna start filling this up and see how it works, because it's not as good as I thought it would be. But it's so cold, I can't work without my gloves, because my hands get cold, but I can't work with my gloves because I can't do anything with trying to twist the wire in place. So I'm gonna go get the trailer and back it up in here and then start filling. If I go gradual, I think I'll be okay, as long as I don't pop one of the wires or something. So we're gonna go get a trailer load full. The first load is in. The second load I just backed up. I'm going to start dumping that or chucking it in. This turned out better than I thought it was going to, because when I first was building it was all wobbly and shaky, but I tightened the lines so that I thought it would be pretty straight. So you can see this is nice. I mean, it's rock solid. It's not going anywhere. The side's really good. It's solid everywhere. I mean, but then down here, where I've just got it kind of loose, you can see, and it's kind of wobbly like. But I do have wire on the bottom there and there and there, and again I'm tied together up on top. So once this gets pressure on it, this will just tighten right up. So it worked good all the way through there. So I think it's gonna be really nice. This is gonna be a real nice size bin, I think, because it's definitely gonna get plenty of air, because we're only about 8 feet across, and we'll probably go as high as I can reach up, you know, like, I don't know, 7, 8 feet high. We'll try to peak as much as I can, but this will work really good. And if we do multiple of these, I think we'll have a winning thing. And I was just thinking about this big bin over here. What I might end up doing is I may put another bin right here off to the side, build like a 4x4, and then right here in the middle I might go straight into it and leave space here and just chuck down through here, dig down into it a ways, so I got 2 separate peaks, and that way the middle will get more air and I can chuck that out of there. So I might do that in a month or two. We'll see what happens. If I need something to do someday, I can do the same thing on the other side. I could put one on the other side too and go down the middle and dig into it and get out a whole bunch of stuff from the middle, and then put another you know, bin right out here, and that would probably work pretty good. So the wind picked up. It's up to about 20 miles an hour winds now, and it's been flurrying out. Got to keep moving because it's cold. Okay, we're gonna start chucking again.
So there we got 2 trailer loads in here. It's firmed up really nice, and that's probably about as high as we're gonna go. Bert's coming right now with some more pallets, and we're gonna make the cage a little bigger. We're gonna build it out, I don't know, probably twice as long as it is. Probably go out to here somewhere, and we should be able to get a whole nother load in here. So right now there's about 3 full cords in there, maybe a little more, something like that. 9 or 10 face cords is what's in there, but here comes the pallet master. I saw that. The whole pile was gonna go there for a second. Yeah, I put the light crappy ones on the sides because they don't have to do much work. Well, looky there, that turned out pretty good. It was very nice of Bert to come and help again. You guys just don't realize how nice it is to have good help. And he works for free. It's awesome. All I gotta do is feed him once in a while. So it's pretty nice that he comes out and helps me. We got way more done than I thought I was gonna get done. The bins turned out really good. Just running the wire across the top side to side and then tying the bottoms in. So there's 2 wires on the bottom of each pallet, 1 in each corner, and then 1 going across the top, and then we just tied the corners. So worked really good. There's probably, if I had to guess, 5 full cords in here. Just a guess, I don't know. We know that 1 trailer load full we measured had 2 full cords, but there was 3 trailer loads full, so that's what's in there. And it's all ash, maple. There might be a little bit of elm in there, but it's, or a little cottonwood even, but it's mainly ash and elm. So there it is, there's the bins. And there's the big boy over there. And this worked really good. We're probably gonna do more of this style or size. We may even do some that are 3 pallets wide. This one is 2 pallets wide, as you can see on this end as you look here. So here's what we did. See how we ran just a wire from the side to side on each one of them, and that we just tried to make sure we didn't hit the wire when we were throwing the wood in, and then went as high as we could throw, and worked out pretty good. So there it is, wood in the bin. Got something to show you here. This is pretty neat. When we were throwing wood in, we had I don't know if you guys can see this, and this is dry. This is box elder. Look at the color on that. It's kind of orange and pink. Very pretty wood. Here's the edge. Usually you'll see it pink like this with a little bit of white on the outside edge, but this is orange on the inside. So really pretty wood. Box elder. Basically it's like soft maple, for those of you who don't know, but I just thought I'd show you that. It's kind of neat. So that's it for today. Poke the buttons. I'll be back tomorrow 5:30 a.m. with another video for you. Between now and then, go to my channel, watch some videos. Good night, Irene. Wood cat. The only cat that's missing is the nasty one. So look at that, how nice they eat together. Nobody's headbutting, nobody's shoving each other around. They eat right next to each other nicely. You get the long-haired orange one in here, and it just upsets everybody. Look at that, all calm. Nobody pushing and slapping and biting. Much better.